Hi YouTube, it's Lena and I'm here today with a bunch of empties. This is actually 2 months worth. I got a little lazy last month, they're a little behind, and by the time I was about to get around to filming them, I decided, you know what? Neither month has, well, they still have a lot of empties, but not as much as I normally was having. So I decided, you know what, let me just combine them both, and they are about what I would have had in 1 month last year when I was going for the 750 goal of empties. So I figured that's not too bad to film in one video. So as always, I like to I like to talk about my makeup first, then I go into full sizes and travel sizes, and then at the end I do, you know, sheet masks and like foil samples, because I know not everybody's into those, so I leave those towards the end. So if you want to go ahead and cut out, you can. Anyways, first let's get into the makeup. It is a good bit. Let's see. Right here we have the Wonder Beauty Clear Brow Gel. I did like this. It's now all, you know, filthy. The only thing I didn't really like about this was the wand. You probably can't even see that, but it's so tiny that my brows, they're fairly light in color these days, but they're still really thick. It's kind of hard to get this through them. So for this, I would kind of have to brush it through and then go through with another spoolie to kind of distribute it a lot better. So that was really my only complaint about this. Otherwise, I did really like it. Now, I'm someone that honestly kind of likes a crunchy brow because it's really hard to hold my eyebrows down. So something that's strong, I tend to prefer. And I wouldn't say that this was like, it's not as hard as the Anastasia one can get, but it's still, it can get a little stiff. So if you don't like that, this might not be for you. Next, we have the Tarte Face Tape Foundation. This is just a little mini. It came as a gift with purchase. I did enjoy this. It has good coverage. It had good lasting power. I have very oily skin, in case you don't know. Sorry, I have an eye itch. So it's really hard to get something that will just actually hang on my face all day, and this would. So I have way too much foundation to be thinking about what I would purchase down the line. And I have things I like a little bit better than this, but I do really like it. And if I was not having a lot of foundation right now, like right now I have, I want to say 19, because I finished 2 and then I bought one that I'd been wanting to try for a really long time and then it went on sale. But like if I had it under 10, I would consider purchasing this if like it went on a 21 Days of Beauty at Ulta sale or something like that. So let's see. Next we have Julep Skip the Blush Stick in Moonlight Sand. This is not a blush color. This is actually like the highlighter of those sticks. Let's see if I can get a swatch. It is a really pretty highlighter. Julep is a little bit harder to get these days. Like they used to do a subscription box just of their products every month. It mainly revolved around their nail polishes, but you could get their makeup products in there too. You could actually like change stuff in and out depending on what was available that month for the box. I actually really missed that box. It was really good. Their makeup is good, but it's, at least it used to be, a little on the expensive side. Now they don't seem to do nail polishes anymore, because when I looked at their website last, they didn't really seem to have that many. And I feel like the price of some of their makeup has gone down a little bit. Like when I looked, this was either only $12 or $14. I don't exactly remember. And for that, I would actually purchase this again. Like, this lasted forever, so definitely like $14, it was worth it. So maybe if they do run sales fairly frequently, so maybe if I got some of my cream highlighter numbers down, not that I have a ton, but just a little bit more down than they are, and they were having a sale or something like that, I would actually probably go to their website and repurchase this. So if you're into cream, like this as a blush, I have an actual blush stick of this as well, and it's also really nice. if you're into cream cheek products, check them out. They're pretty good. And like I said, now that they're like $14 or something like that, the price really isn't that bad. Next is actually one of my favorite, what has become one of my favorite primers, the Smith & Colt Black Drop Mattifying Primer. Now, this does come out black. Let's see if I can, if there's anything left in here. Okay, there we go. I was able to eke a little bit out right there. Like, it is one that you actually really have to make sure that you rub in. So that's a little bit of an annoyance, but it really does keep you matte. I actually got this, I got a full size of this from Ulta during a 21 Days of Beauty sale, I think last year. So I still have this in my collection. That's why I wanted to finish the mini this year. I do really like it, and I would repurchase if I was down to like 10 primers, because I have way too many. I would totally purchase this at a full price even. So, but I definitely jumped on it when I saw it for sale on half price. And they tend to repeat products a lot in those sales, so if it pops up again and you're wanting something for oily skin, check it out. It's really good. Here is the Cover FX Illuminating Primer. I know I just said I'm oily. I tend to wear illuminating primers on days where I'm not wearing a lot of makeup, just to kind of give my skin a little extra oomph, but still, you know, I'm not wearing like any foundation, for example, so it makes the skin look a little bit better without actually wearing anything on it. This is a good one for that. I don't know if I'd repurchase it at full price because Cover FX is kind of expensive. And I still have, I've really gotten through my illuminating primers this year. Like, that's something that I've really been working on and making sure that I wear on days that I don't necessarily wear much other makeup other than, say, like mascara and a lip gloss or something. So this is one I would consider repurchasing for that. My favorite for that was the Becca First Light Priming Filter. Becca is no longer in production, obviously. They are discontinuing service, I believe, sometime in September. I do have a couple of backups of that primer, but once I get through those, this might be something that I would purchase to replace something like that. Although, like I said, I might wait and see if it pops up on sale. This Cover FX is not cheap. Here is something that took me forever to go through, and despite me really liking it, there's a reason why. It's the LA Girl Pro Coverage High Definition. This is technically their foundation, but the white I use as a mixer. A lot of people do. It's a really good mixer because the consistency is really thin, so it doesn't change the texture of the foundation too much or anything like that. Most of my foundations match me these days. So just to get this used up, I was using a squirt of this like at a time, and it still took me forever to use. Like, this was in my Throwback 30 project pan, and there are a ton of marks on it. I honestly just stopped using it once it stopped pumping, even though I know I could scrape several more uses out of here, just because I was like, it's making my foundations too light. So I wanted to get my money's worth. I don't exactly remember how much this is. It was a little more than I thought it was. I think it's like $8 or $9.99. The LA Girl is pretty cheap, but I think that's just one of their more expensive products is their foundation. I don't know if this foundation would work for me on a normal basis because it says it is a long wear illuminating foundation, and my face tends to eat those unless I'm wearing something like this underneath them. But as far as a mixer is concerned, if you need it, this is a really good one that you can buy through Ulta, so it's a pretty easy thing to access, at least in America. Something I can't get again for several reasons is the L'Oreal Havana by Camila Cabello Lip Dew. I don't know what color this is, there's no sticker on it, but it doesn't matter anyway because it was limited edition. I actually initially popped the stopper out of this, but because the top is actually cracked, it leaked everywhere, so I was like, you know what, no. I have been using this for months, I have gotten my money's worth out of it, I am not dealing with that. But I mean, you can see in here that I got the vast majority of it out. There will probably be about another week or so of uses if I popped the stopper back out and started using it like normal again. But it's even leaking right now because of the fact that it's cracked like that. So, I mean, the packaging's really cute. It was a really nice formula. It smelled really nice. It was a very pretty color. Not only is this limited edition, L'Oreal is definitely not cruelty free, at least not outside of the United States. But I'm happy that I got my full usage out of it, and it didn't like sit and go bad in my collection or anything like that. Because I've had to throw out some lip products in the past year that have started to go off. Like just the other day, I actually threw out my 2 Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks because they both smelled rank. Now I know those go off fairly quickly as far as lip products are concerned. So I checked them because I was thinking of putting one in a project pan and it smelled rancid. So I was just like, you know what, nope. Time to go. I got you in a, what's it called? Mystery box anyway, so it's not like I paid full price. It sucks, but at least I didn't lose like, you know, the full $20 or whatever. And I was wanting to use up the stuff of his in my collection anyway, so, you know, whatever. Next is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder, this little bitty teeny weeny sample. I did use it all up. It took me longer than I thought it was going to. Like there's a little bit more to this powder than I initially thought. I liked it. It's really expensive for just, you know, I don't want to call it a basic powder. It's a nice powder, but it's not, you know, revolutionary or anything. There are plenty of powders that are cheaper than this that I liked just as much. So, would I purchase that? No, but it was nice to use. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, speaking of the Becca First Light Priming Filter, I actually lost the bottom to this, so that's why it's like that. This is the travel size technically, but I count it as a full size because you could purchase it. And it's not the little mini that you could get through like kits and stuff, so this is a full size to me. It takes long enough for me to go through it, so it's definitely that. But I really, really loved this, both as an actual primer and something to wear on days where I didn't wear foundation, because it just made my skin look really pretty. And still held on to makeup while being like, you know, hydrating and not super mattifying. And I will really miss this when I run out of my 2 full sizes. But I should probably find some kind of dupe to it at some point. The Cover FX is not a dupe to it at all, but it's still just, you know, a nice kind of illuminating primer that I don't mind using. Another illuminating primer mini. This is 2 months, but you know, this is the Ipkin New York Radiant Cream Primer. This is a Korean brand. I didn't love this. Like, it's okay, but it's definitely not my favorite, and it was a little oily, so not for me. If you're drier skinned than me, you might like it a bit more, though. Alright. Here we have the Tarte Jelly Glaze Anytime Lip Mask. This reminds me a lot of the Laneige lip mask, like the sleeping lip mask that you wear overnight. It's really thick like that one. This is, I think I want to say it's strawberry scented. Does smell really good. It does hydrate your lips, so if you're trying to go cruelty free and that's something you really love, this might be worth looking into. I don't know if the full size comes in a tube or if it comes in a pot or what. That I don't know. This is the Hikari Liquid Eyeliner in Iris. It's a really dark purple. It's fine. I got this through Ipsy. The tip is a bit on the hard side, but not like I can't use it hard, but it's not the most comfortable to use. It was a really pretty color until it dried out, so I don't know if I'd necessarily get this again, but it was fine to use. Here is the Tarte, what is this called? Shape Tape Pore and Prime Balm. So I use this as a pore filling primer. When I wear makeup, I actually use both a pore filling primer and a regular primer. Like I just do the pore thing down the center of my face because that's where I have the most issue with that. And then I go over it all over my face and down my neck with either a mattifying primer or a hydrating primer, just depending on how my skin's feeling that day and what foundation I'm wearing. This was really nice as a pore filling primer. I don't love the, what's it called? I don't like the solid ones too much. Like I'd rather like it be in a bottle that pumps out versus me having to like stick my finger in here and get some out, or stick like a beauty blender in there every time and apply it on my face that way like some people do, because it's a little less hygienic that way, but it's really good. This is another Tarte product. The Double Duty Beauty Shape Tape Setting Powder. I really liked this. Kept me nice and matte. I have a full size. That's why I wanted to use this one. I really wish that I could get these again, but it's Laura Mercier. They're not cruelty free. This is the Caviar Stick in Intense Amethyst. I like their regular ones better versus the intense ones. Here, that's a little bit of a swatch right there. The intense ones, the glitter somehow takes away from the pigmentation. I don't know how. I think it's just a light reflecting thing that makes it seem like it's a little less pigmented. I don't know. I don't get it. But for me, it's that somehow is the issue. But the regular line and the matte line are really, really good. And there's something that I really wish was cruelty free because I would probably buy their kits fairly regularly. That was a kit at Christmas one year. I finally finished an eyeshadow from my Young Wild and Cruelty Free Project Pan. So if you've seen that, you would know this, but this is from the Maybelline Eye Studio Quad in Olive Martini. I transferred it to a different shadow, or a different pan, as you can see, because the pans in that, there's no metal in there, they're just plastic. So when I wanted to depot it and put it in a Z palette, I had to move it to something else. This was the like blue-brown pigment that, 4 or 5 years ago wasn't that common, but now you can get it from anywhere. I do really like those colors. I'm glad I used it up. I've actually used up everything I want to use up from that palette now because one of the shades is like a dark shade that has got like a shift of red to it that I have a lot of, and I wouldn't probably use it to its full advantage anyway. And then there's a mint shade that I would really like, but it has no pigment to it. So I've used up what I want to of that quad. And I have 3 mascaras. Here we have the Neutrogena Healthy Volume Mascara. I swear to God, I wish this was cruelty free because it would be one of my favorite drugstore mascaras. I love the volume that this gives me. But unfortunately, Neutrogena sells in mainland China, so can't buy it again. Here we have the Sephora Lash Craft in Big Volume. This was fine as a mascara. It's not something I would necessarily miss, but I'm glad I got to use it. And finally, we have a very old, please don't be too horrified, Maybelline Great Lash Mascara in the limited edition So Very Berry shade. I kind of mostly use this to layer and wear on my lower lashes for a little extra pop of color. It was fine for that. I don't particularly like the Great Lash line. It's very lengthening and separating and not volumizing, and I prefer something very volumizing, so not my favorite. And 2 little bitty makeup samples in here. We have the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Longwear Foundation and Soft Silk Primer. The primer's nice. It's not my favorite, but it's nice. I do have like a mini of it in my collection that I bought at one point. The foundation, I prefer the other one, the original one, because it hangs on my face a bit longer. This was still nice though, and I think if you have drier skin, you would really like this. 150 is not my shade. My shade in that range is much lighter. I want to say it's like 105 or something. But I can make 150 work when I get it, because that's usually the light shade that they put in sample packs. And I actually have a little makeup sponge. This is from AOA. This is from their Paw Paw line. This is the one that, for $1.55, they donate 55 cents of that to an animal charity. I forgot the word charity. I think the charity is one of their own. I don't know exactly which one it is, but these are really soft sponges. I do really like them. You can get them in a variety of shapes. I like the one with the flat edge. I'm using a different sponge right now, and honestly, I kind of miss this one. But I do have like a 6-pack of these that I bought at some point, so I got plenty in the back. Now, onto my box. First, I found another one of these, so I used them up. I swear, I keep finding, when I go through my stuff, I keep finding like random things of makeup wipes, or like these I use for like swatches and cleaning up, or for when I'm doing my makeup. So like I bought a million of these, and I'm trying to get away from using makeup wipes for the most part. Unless they're like biodegradable or something like that. Like, trying to get away from using too many one-time use things. Because I already really love sheet masks, so I figure I should get away from some of the other one-time use and throwaway things like that. I mean, these are great for using as far for removing swatches and stuff. I tend to be able to coupon them really easy, which is why this is what I went to. Because these, especially when you coupon them, are a good bit cheaper than actual makeup wipes, unless you're buying like the dollar variety that aren't always very good at that. But yeah, I'm trying to get away from this stuff, but because I coupon so many of them, every once in a while I seem to find like 1 or 2 packs of them in a random spot. So hopefully that's my last one. And I found like a couple of packs of honest to God makeup wipes from like Simple, which I haven't bought in ages, so go figure. Dr. Teal's Pure Epsom Salts. This is the Eucalyptus Spearmint. Love this. Would definitely repurchase. I'm on, I think, my last bag of this right now because I bought like 4 bags of it from Ulta last year. So it might be time to re-up my supply. Went through another one of these. This is my Jason Dandruff Relief Treatment Shampoo. This works really well for that. I have to buy it on Amazon because I can't find it in stores anywhere, but honestly, it's worth it. I end up buying a new one of these every 2 to 3 months. But it's a good, cruelty-free dandruff shampoo. This is the Murad Skin Perfecting Lotion. I liked it so much I cut it open. This is a daily facial moisturizer, lightweight, oil-free. Absolutely loved it. It's a little on the pricey side. I want to say it's $42, but holy crap, I really love this. Murad makes some great products. If Murad goes for 5 times the points on Ulta, I would probably repurchase this. This one I got from Ipsy, but it's really good and I'm really considering buying it. But I kind of want to wait for some kind of sale. And I know like Panning and stuff has complained a lot because she loves Murad. And Ulta hasn't had a good sale on them in over a year. So now I think I'm kind of watching with her. You know, this took me forever to pan and now I miss it. It's the Tree Hut Post-Shave Soothing Mist in Coconut Lime. This is something that after you shave and you dry off and everything, you spray on your legs and it helps make them a little bit smoother. Helps keep away any like itchiness or ingrown hairs or anything like that. I do think it really helped for that. It took me a while to really get in the habit of using this, but once you do, it really does work. You can get it from Ulta. They have another one in like a rose scent as well. I'm going through something from Dollar Shave Club right now, but honestly, once I finish that, I'm just going to repurchase this. It really is that nice for that kind of product. Like, it's definitely an extra product. It's something you don't necessarily need, but it's really nice. I have 2 Zany Laney mists here. I have Gary's Vision, which is based off of the Addams Family Values movie. It's Mandarin Oranges, Muget Lily, and Dill Pickle, which sounds weird, but somehow it works. I could really only smell the oranges in here. And this one is Lucille. It's based off of Negan from The Walking Dead. The scent notes are leather, fire, and rain. I really liked both of these. I wish they were still in business, but they are not, sadly. Maybe they will come back one day. I just knocked something onto the floor. And that's probably going to happen again because that's just what I do. I have the Mario Badescu Glycolic Foaming Cleanser. This is fine as a face cleanser. I used up a good portion of this to clean my makeup sponges as well, just to help me get through it faster and to not buy a separate makeup sponge cleanser. I just started using my facial cleansers for that, so it's really nice. I don't know if I would necessarily purchase it again. I'm not even sure what cleanser I would purchase as far as if I completely used up everything that I have, so I don't know. I have the Love Beauty and Planet Argan Oil and Lavender Conditioner. I did I did this month in August finish the shampoo as well, but I just didn't finish it in time for July. The formula of this is really nice. I hate the smell of lavender for the most part. Like, there are some mixes where I like it. Please give me that, Zazzy. You can't eat that. And there are some where it doesn't bother me, and this didn't bother me at first, but it got more and more on my nerves the more I used it, so. I'm not entirely sure if they're cruelty or not free or not. I kind of get conflicting information on that, so I don't know. I have two of these. They are the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Fur Play Moisturizing Shower Cream Gel. I kind of savored these. They had a Project Pan actually, dropped 10 by summer. But I didn't finish one of them in time because I was like, I don't want to force myself to use this up too quickly because I really enjoy it. So they do smell really good. I'm obsessed with this scent. And it was really creamy and moisturizing. It's a bit more than I want to pay for a body wash, honestly. But if I wanted to treat myself, this is something I would get. It is really nice. Speaking of that, I think I have at least one of the, yep. I have one of the little Boom Boom creams in here with it as well. Love these. If I ran completely out of lotion, this is what I would purchase. I know it's $44, but dang it, I really love it. But because I have so much backup, I don't want to purchase something that expensive necessarily that I may not even get to for quite a while. So I treat myself to kits most Christmases. I actually didn't buy one last Christmas because I had so many little minis of that. So I held myself back. I'm quite proud of myself for that. Speaking of Zany Laney earlier, this is the Cake Sniffer Body Scrub, and this is the stuff I really missed. They made an amazing body scrub. Scent notes are pink sugar frosting and birthday cake. It is really sweet. Like, it's a little bordering on too sweet for me with this one, but, you know, the formula is so good that I really don't care about the scent. Like, even if the scent wasn't my favorite, I still use them. Let's see. Here we have the Pixi Skin Treats Overnight Retinol Oil. This is okay for a retinol oil. I didn't see as much results as I've seen in the past from like the Strivectin retinol oil or the Sunday Riley one. And this packaging is kind of cheap. And I mean, Pixi's not cheap, but for a retinol oil, this is only like 25 bucks, so that's not bad. But, you know, maybe if you're a little younger and you want to get started with the retinol oil, I would recommend this. I just didn't see enough results, because if I saw results, I would put up with dinky packaging like that. But add on top of the fact that I didn't see enough results, that packaging bothered me more. And because it wouldn't suck up as much product as I wanted it to either. So this one I would not repurchase, but if you're looking to try something more inexpensive, you do see some results, maybe it's a good first retinol oil for people to try out. Let's see, is this the only one of these I have in here? I know I finished two. Yeah. Okay, so the Alterna Caviar Anti-Aging Replenishing Moisture CC Cream for Hair. I really loved this. It made my hair feel smooth. Unfortunately, I do not think Alterna is cruelty-free. But if they were, I would consider repurchasing in the future. I have two of these, actually. I wound up with two. They are the First Aid Beauty Facial Radiance Pads. I know that these are supposed to be like a gentle, tone peeling, brightening thing, but I really don't see much in the way of results from these. And I mean, I used these two back to back, so I feel like I had enough of these, be 20 pads in total, for me to see something. I'm using the Elemis ones now because, you know, I had them. And I kind of feel the same way about them, although I haven't been using them for very long, so maybe after using them for like a month, I'll see more results. But I've yet to see too many results from many of these. There's one whose name I can't remember, but they were calendula laced pads that I really liked. Those are the only ones that I really remember seeing any kind of real results from, but... Oh, and there's another one that... Those were biodegradable, and I really liked them because they were biodegradable too. Like, I felt less bad about using them. God, I wish I could remember the name. I really wish I could remember the name of them, and I could find it pretty easily because I got them from 0.8 liter, so I could look it up fairly easily, but... Are you getting fussed? Do I talk too much? Yes, I talk too much. We don't have too much left. Not too much. Anyways, I would purchase any of those over wanting to get those again. All right. The Bulldog Skincare for Men, technically, Original Shave Gel. This is another one that's cruelty-free, so I can repurchase it again. I actually really liked it, and I don't necessarily care that it's made for men or not. It's aloe, camelina, and green tea, so it's a very kind of natural scent going on. It was nice for shaving my legs with. I do have another one in my backup stock, so, you know. I did like it. I would consider repurchasing once I actually ran out of that sort of thing. Here is a Ulta Whim Bath Bomb. I believe this was the diamond one that I used up. Unfortunately, other than coloring the water and giving a little bit of a scent, I didn't get much from this one. I'm so far seeing that many of the Whim Bath Bombs from Ulta aren't really worth the $8, especially since I can get $1 bath bombs from Shop Miss A now that do so much more. So, yeah, those I haven't really found worth it. The Hemp's bath bombs from Ulta produce a lot of scent. So do feel they're like a little bit moisturizing. So I do really like those if I want to buy something that's from Ulta. But I learned my lesson. I got a few more to get through. I mentioned finding some backup makeup wipes that I had no idea I had. Here's a set. This is the Kogan Dough Cleansing Spa Water Makeup Wipes. This is just a little 10-pack. I think I actually swapped for these like over a year ago or something like that. They were fine, but they're nothing that makes me want to get them again. They worked, so good on them. If you're seeing a little bit of powder everywhere, I think it's from this. It's the Cosmetics Pure C Vitamin C Mixing Crystal. So this is like a vitamin C powder that you can mix into moisturizers and serums and whatnot to give yourself a boost of vitamin C. But it's a little more stable than just in a serum itself. You know, like with vitamin C serums, you got to keep them out of the light. Once you open them, you need to make sure you use them up within a certain amount of time or they're going to go off. It's not the most stable of ingredients, but it can be really good for your skin. So we just all kind of put up with it. This is supposed to be a little bit easier of a way to use it. And it did work. It was fine. And it helped me use up a serum that was otherwise just kind of a moisturizing serum. Which I do like at times, but they're not my primary type of serum, let's say. So it was good for that. I don't know if I would necessarily purchase this again because it's a little bit of a nuisance to have to open this, mix it in with the serum, rub it together, and then put it on my face. Plus, there was one of those, you know, little packets of silica gel things in here that I ended up having to pry this apart, which is why there's getting powder everywhere, so that I could pull the thing out because it was starting to block the opening for me of getting product out, and that was a pain in my butt. Let's see. Have another Zany Laney mist. This is To the Moon and Back, Pink Candy, Cotton Candy, and Rock Candy. Another really sweet scent, but this one worked for me a little bit better. Maybe just, you know, spraying it in the air and on my body was a little bit better than... These can be a little bit concentrated as far as scents are concerned. The Vichy Lift Active Supreme Moisturizer. A little bit rich for me. Also not cruelty free, so I couldn't purchase it even if I wanted to. This was an interesting thing. It's the Clara C, like SEA, Sea Salt Solutions Face Rapid Detox Charcoal Exfoliant. It was a little powder that you could add to your face wash and make it into like a physical exfoliator. I liked it. It was nice. I don't know if I would purchase a full size of this because, once again, especially when you're using this like in a bath, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. It is cruelty free, at least according to the little bunny on the back, so can recommend it that way. It was nice. I'd be willing to try another product like this. And I think I have something like that from a different brand at a full size. Here's the 111 Skin Rose Gold Radiance Booster. I use these as like essences in my skincare that when I get them. This one was rose gold, and it had a little bit of a sheen to it. So if you're into that, it's nice. These products are so expensive, and there's one that I really like. It's the Anti-Blemish Booster, because I have oily skin. I do break out sometimes. I've been breaking out a lot lately. Annoying. But they're so expensive, and you only get like 20 milliliters, so not even a full ounce. So I don't find them worth it for the full price. I did buy the Anti-Blemish Booster from Ipsy in July, I think it was, because it was only like $18, and I really don't want to pay more than about $40 for this. So I figured 18 was a good price for me to buy another one. 135, no way in hell. So if I can get, not necessarily that one, but the one that I really like, if I can get that for a decent price, I would buy it again. And I would honestly recommend that one if you're wanting more of an illuminating glow versus, you know, the one that I really like. Just definitely go buy them on Poshmark from people. Definitely negotiate down a price. Don't go to their website and pay the full price or anything like that. They're not bad, but they're not worth the $135 because you just simply don't even get enough of them for me to even think they might be worth that price, even if I really like one of them. Here's the Ren Glycol Lactic Radiance Renewal Mask. If you like a chemical peel, this was really nice. And it wasn't too burny like some of them can be, so it was good. I would recommend it. I don't know if I would necessarily purchase it. I have two antibacterial hand gels. I have one from Ulta and Pineapple that I really liked. And I have, my mother actually bought me this for Christmas, like she put together a bag for me. The brand is called Sweet and Shimmer Toasted Vanilla, it's the scent. This is, Sweet and Shimmer is like the little stocking stuffer brand that Ulta sells around Christmas time. Just a bunch of little like $1, $3, and $5, and I think $10 things that you can get. So, like this is $4.99, so. The scent was really good. The packaging on this was freaking awful though. Like there's still a little bit in here because I cannot get it out. Too hard to squeeze. And it's not some, even like setting it like this, the product doesn't all drain. And no matter how many times I knock it around, I can't get the last little dregs out of there, and it bugs the crap out of me. The product itself was fine. The packaging is garbage. This is much nicer packaging for that sort of thing. And, well, these are a little bit cheaper as well, by the way. I think those are like either $3 or $2.99. I can't quite remember. Oh, we have a dry shampoo. This is the IGK First Class Charcoal Detox Dry Shampoo. Really good dry shampoo. I do like IGK. They're a little expensive. Dry shampoo. I really like the Hosk one that you can get in like drugstores if you want like, it's $7.99. It's not super cheap, but like a less expensive drugstore shampoo. Not Your Mother's is a good one too, but if you're, the original one has a really intense scent, so if you think that might bug you, maybe go for the unscented one. Oh, I also have another one of these. This one's in Cupcake. It smelled like chocolate. It freaked me out a lot because this was a potent scent. Like I would just suddenly start smelling chocolate out of nowhere, and I'm like, the frick smells like chocolate? Oh, it's my hands. So the scent on that one is intense, let me just say. Speaking of hydrating serums, this is the Elemis Superfood Cica, C-I-C-A, Calm Hydration Juice. If you want a hydrating serum, this is a really nice one. I wound up using it up on like dry sheet masks that you can kind of make your own sheet mask out of serums and oils and stuff. Because as a like kind of like deep treatment, it was nice, but daily it didn't do much for me. I produce a lot of my own oils, so other than a moisturizer, I don't need a ton of moisturizing things unless my skin is having an off day. But if you like hydration, this was really nice. Paula's Choice Exfoliate 2% BHA Liquid Exfoliant. I did like this. Like I don't see too much difference in many of the pad things I use, but I feel like I saw some difference in this. This is little bitty and it was $10 because I wanted to try it because Paula's Choice came to Sephora somewhat recently. But if I knocked down my toner collection a little bit, I would repurchase this. I did like it. Here we have the DP Hue ACV Leave-In Hair Treatment. It's apple cider vinegar. The smell on this wasn't too bad as far as apple cider vinegar is concerned. Like, it's there, but it didn't linger too badly or anything like that. I do think it made my hair a little bit softer. I have a couple more of these that I'm working through. I don't know if I would necessarily repurchase because I have a couple of full-size leave-in sprays that I need to use up before I think about that. But it was pretty good. I'm perfectly fine with using the rest that I have. The Oblique Sea Berry Hair Serum. I have no idea what this did for my hair, so I would not seek that out again, but I had it lingering in my stuff. And last thing, before I get into sheet masks and samples, and I think I'm going to start losing my voice soon, I have a Dollar Shave Club razor. This is just a little one thing because I had to buy a new razor recently. So I used up because you can buy Dollar Shave Club in stores now. So, yeah, I used that up. All right. Now, before I completely lose my voice, let's do this. I have the Orchid Elastic Underuse Eye Patch from the Orchid Skin. I really love these, and I'm getting low on them, which makes me kind of sad. I do have other under eye gels that I need to use up before I seek these out, but these actually stick to your skin without, you know, like leaving a residue behind, which makes them really great because a lot of under eye gels don't stay on your skin unless you're like laying back and praying. So these are really good if you have a problem with that. We have the Cream Shop's Bulgarian Rose Water Face Mask. It does hydrate, but you better love rose because it definitely smells like it. The Rodeo Pink Diamond Lifting Face Mask. Way too perfumed for me to really want to use again. Like, I felt like it gave me some good moisture, probably from the hyaluronic acid, but the scent was way too much. We have Cream Shop's Aloe Vera Face Mask. This is nice. I will say, this particular set from the Cream Shop right here, they're only $1. The actual sheet of the sheet mask is a little stiff. But if you don't mind that, they're really good for $1. Just, you know, be aware that the material is a little cheap. Here's the Yes to Tomatoes Acne Fighting Paper Mask. I don't know if I had this for too long or what, but this honestly felt a little dried out. Like, there just wasn't much on it, so didn't really care for that. I have two from Nature's Friend. I have a blueberry and the word that I can never pronounce right there. They're both really nice. I would recommend either of them. I have a Duft and Doft Pink Milk Mask. These definitely hydrate the shit out of your face because they're saturated to the point of being a little drippy, which drives me a little crazy, but if you want to make sure that your sheet mask has a lot of essence to it, you know, they're good. And I have two from Ariel. It's A-R-I-U-L. I don't know if I'm saying it right. And I have tea tree and bamboo water. I like the tea tree one more because I like to do everything that I can for my stupid, you know, pores and clarifying and all that stuff. The bamboo one was really hydrating though, so if that's more your jam, you know, go that route. And as far as samples are concerned, I do have some. Let's see. This actually came with a full size of, it was when I got that American Beauty Influencer box, which I decided not to get that this set of 2 months because they were tanning, like fake tanning products, and I don't fake tan. I mean, obviously, most I do is use a makeup bronzer. But when I got the pharmacy one of the products came with this little sample of the Green Clean Makeup Melt Away Cleansing Balm. A full size came with it too, or like the $22 travel size, which is still way more than, it's plenty. So I used it up, and it reminded me how much I freaking love this for removing makeup. Absolutely love it. Smells amazing. Wish I was using it right now. And I have two of these from Tony Moly. They are the Vital Vita 12 ampules. The blue one is moisturizing and the pink one is brightening. I found them both to be pretty darn moisturizing. I wish Tony Moly was cruelty free because it's a really, really convenient brand to get for Korean skincare, and they're such cute looking products a lot of the time, but sadly they are not. They sell in mainland China, which a lot of Korean skincare does, but not all of them. You just kind of have to do your research, and that's what I do because I really love Korean skincare. Let's see, we have the Sunday Riley CEO 15% Vitamin C Brightening Serum. I've used minis of this before. I do like it, but it's a little more lotiony than I like my vitamin C serum to be, so this is not something I would purchase, but if it got handed to me, I'd be really happy to use it because it still works. It's just, you know, personal preference as far as texture is concerned with me. Like, the Ole Henriksen Vitamin C Serum is still one of my absolute favorites, even though I haven't used it in a few years, so unless they've changed the formula or something like that on me. But I really like the texture and I really like the results that I get from it. And I have a couple of samples from the European Wax Center. It's where I get like my bikini line and stuff waxed from now, because I started doing that. But they do sell their own like selection of products, and they are cruelty free. I checked before I bought anything from them. But here we have, this is their slow products. That was a weird noise, Europa. My house, my area is full of animals tonight. But the slow products are supposed to help inhibit hair growth from coming back. So here we have the Slow Polish. This is just their regular body scrub. I have a specific scrub for the areas that they wax as well, but I don't want to use that because it's more expensive. I don't want to use that all over my body necessarily. This is the scent Aloe, and it's not my favorite. This in particular is not my favorite scrub because it's not scrubby enough for me, but if you want a light scrub, that is nice. I also have the Aloe Body Wash. Unfortunately, I couldn't really tell anything from it because there was like next to no product in this one, unfortunately. And they have the Slow Body Butter and Shea because they didn't have an aloe of this scent. But it was a really good body butter. I'm not overly fond of the Shea scent, but the formula was really nice. I think I've been talking for an hour. Anyways. Stay tuned through the end. I will have my totals for, I will probably just combine both months into one slide rather than doing two, but if you want to see how much of every category, like skincare, hair care, and all that I've used up for the month, if you want to see monetary totals, if you want to see my year-to-date totals, all of that will be shown at the end, so stay tuned if you're into that. But thank you guys for tuning in and listening to me babble on for freaking ever. As always, I do really appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully I will see you later. Bye!